Hi, everybody. Wow, this is a lot more nerve-wracking than you made it look. Thank you, Lucy. I haven't got a fancy presentation, and I'm going to do something a little bit different today, and just tell you a little bit more about my journey and me. Because like Lucy just said, people want to hear from real people. People want to get to know you as a business owner. I don't know if anyone managed to catch my presentation with Simply Business a few weeks ago. It was tips on how to grow your small business. Can I get a show of hands? Did anyone watch it? Brilliant, at least 2 people. Well, thank you. I love to talk business. I'm just so passionate about it. I don't know why. I'm not sure if I was born that way. I don't think I was, which I'll reveal in a second. But I could talk about business all day long. But yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit more about me today because for me, women are amazing, okay? We juggle so many different things. And men, sorry, there's a few in the room, so I'll give them credit as well. But yes, I am the winner of the Apprentice 2022. I am co-founder of Oh So Yum. I have my small business growing. It's going to be a big business. But I'm also many, many other things. You know, I'm a property owner. I'm a daughter. I'm a really proud sister who's also my business partner. I think I'm a really good aunt. And I'm a dog mum. I have a little dog. And I'm an amazing girlfriend, yeah, I'm not going to lie. So why am I saying this? Because there are so many hats that as women we wear, and you're constantly having to switch between them. Put your hand up if you feel like you are spinning hundreds of plates at once at times. Yeah, thought so. It's not easy, it really isn't, and I just feel that in this day and age, especially with the the rise of social media. When I set up my business 7 years ago, I set up my dessert shop and it was fine, you know, open the door, make it look pretty, people will come in. Business doesn't work like that anymore, and as customers and as businesses, the way that the world operates is completely different. I find social media really, really difficult. I would rather stand here and talk to all of you lovely people here all day long, but ask me to put a video on social media and it's really tricky. Does anyone else have the same problem? It's just not easy. So thank you, Lucy, for giving us some ideas. 3 content pillars, which I did note down, and I'm going to try and incorporate that into my content as well. Because yeah, I did win the Apprentice, but at the end of the day, I'm just me. And I'll share a little bit about my personal journey and what has led me to the crazy moment this year when I did get investment, because I just want to, hopefully, even if I can inspire just one of you today that can maybe relate to me in any single way, just to prove to you that literally you can achieve anything in your wildest dreams. It's literally to do with your mindset. So I'll share 3 top tips to do with mindset in a little while. So yeah, I grew up in Birmingham. So I'm Punjabi, Sikh, Indian, British Asian, more labels. My dad came from India. He married my mom. I think they met at the altar, married at first sight. And I had a really strict upbringing. I grew up in a really rough, rundown area. I think we were actually down the road from a prison. And if you had asked me back then, when I was 5, 6 years old, are you going to go on and own a business even? I would never have thought that in my wildest dreams, because back then, that's not what the normal thing was to do for an Asian woman. Go and get yourself an education, which I'm very grateful to my parents for. They really focused on education. Go and get yourself a job in either banking, law, or be a doctor. Those are your 3 options. And get your head down. And then as a woman, you think, okay, great, I'll get married at some point. I'll pop out a few kids. And you crack on. So yeah, that's what I thought my life plan was going to be, and that was what my life path was set for. And I was really, really, you know, I'm not going to lie, I was book smart. My nickname was Bookworm. I loved studying, I loved reading. And my dad worked 2 jobs to be able to provide for us, and my mum was a dinner lady, and it just wasn't enough. So they moved us all the way up to West Yorkshire. I was gutted because I'd just got into a grammar school, one of the top 5 schools in the country. It was a girls' school. I got to wear a fancy little skirt, study Latin, and I got moved all the way up north where it was an absolute culture shock. So I grew up in an area where every single person in my school was Asian or they were black. And I've now been moved into an area as an 11-year-old, no school to go to because they didn't have a place. And I don't know if you guys remember Little Britain, but there used to be this joke in there, the only gay in the village. Does anyone remember that? I felt like we were the only Asians in the village where we lived. So really stuck out like a sore thumb. And if you had looked at me back at that age, 11, 12, right up until the age of, I would say, 18, I was shy, I was an introvert, I was nervous. You wouldn't have even knew I existed if I'm completely honest with you. I just didn't really have a voice, you know. I didn't have any experience or exposure or anything to help me come out of my shell until I went through the journey of school, which again, I just felt like I really stuck out, you know, the only Indian kid with a long plait and a moustache. I then really wanted to actually get out the house. I thought, okay, I want to stand on my own 2 feet. I want to earn some money. I don't know where I was going to spend it, but yeah, I just wanted my bank account to start racking up so I could be this independent, you know, girl that's doing her own thing. So I remember applying for loads of different jobs. I applied for River Island. It was like really Apprentice style. They put us in a room and you had to do this task. And I didn't get the job. And I couldn't believe it. Like, why would they not want me? Like, I'm really smart. I focus, I study. And I didn't get it back then, but I get it now, which I'll come on to. So yeah, I then started to get a little bit embarrassed. I'm going for these job interviews. I'm not really getting any. So you get this little bit of an ego about you. And I remember actually leaving home saying I was going to uni, and really I was going to the public toilets to quickly change into something smart to go for an interview. And then finally I got a job in a bank. Don't know why they took me, but they did, because I got to the point where I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to go for this. I'm going to go into this fearless because I've got literally nothing to lose because everyone's saying no anyway. And it came across as confidence. I think they thought I knew what I was doing. And I got the job, and that just gave me this absolute boost. And I thought, okay, right, this is my opportunity. This is my shot. I've got myself a job in a bank. Dad's happy, tick that Indian box, those 3 options. And I decided to, I'd done a year of university by this point, and I decided to study full-time and work full-time. Tough decision, you know, I had to sacrifice a lot. I didn't have much time with friends and family. I didn't have many friends anyway. And I just really supercharged my own growth because I'm not sure where I've got it from, but from an early age, I realized that if there's anything that you want, it's in your power. Nobody's going to hand it on a plate to you. So whatever life that you want, go get it. So I decided to go for it, studied full-time, worked my way up over a period of 4 or 5 years in banking, from cashier level to branch manager level. And I think I was I was a manager in a bank of HSBC in Manchester, and I was the youngest staff member there. Everybody was older than me, and I'm having to tell them what to do. So it's a really tricky period to be in because you have that imposter syndrome and you think, okay, great, again, I don't belong. But I've got this thing about me. I'm always going to present myself in a situation where I don't show that fear. I'm going to present myself as confident because if I believe it, the other person is going to as well. So great, I've worked really hard. I've studied, I've got my degree, brilliant, you know, model student, model daughter, fantastic. And guess what? I just don't really want to do that anymore. Don't really fancy waking up at 6 a.m, going to work, pressing a few buttons, having customers complain about their overdraft, sending some flowers to say, you know, sorry, we lost your card. I just didn't feel that passion or that zest. So I started dabbling in a few business ideas. I decided I was going to do nails. I was going to be the best nail artist going. Didn't do a single course I knew nothing about it. But I ordered my business cards, and they look really cool. I designed them. And they came, and they're in this brown box from Vistaprint. Super excited. I shoved my sister's name on there as well, because I thought, brilliant, I'm going to rope her into it. And the cards came, and my dad must have got hold of the package. He said, "What are these?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna set up my own business. I'm gonna, go to people's houses. I'm gonna do their nails. It's gonna earn me a little bit of cash on the side." No, you're not. What do you mean? No, you're not doing that. My daughter is not going to go to people's houses and do nails. I'm like, I don't understand why. Like, I'm ambitious. Like, I'm wanting to do my own thing. I'm being independent. Isn't this what you're supposed to be doing? No. So those business cards went in the bin. I saved a couple. I've got them somewhere. Harpreet Kaur, nail artist. And that was that. And I felt gutted. I thought, okay, like, I need something else. I'm not realizing my true potential. I've got something else in me. So then I tried to set up this other business importing bags from India. I got a sample pack. Never did anything with them other than wear them on a night out. And I then finally came up on this idea with my sister to do with desserts. And that was 7 years ago now. We're greedy. We love cake. I used to come home from the bank every single day. And even before dinner, which is really strange, we used to have coffee and cake right before dinner and then have it again afterwards because we've got a big sweet tooth. And I think we saw this, a place called Wafflemeister, which I'm sure many of you have been to. We thought it was amazing. We thought, oh my God, this is absolutely brilliant. And up north, it's not as hip and happening as it is here in London. There's really not many places to go. So we thought, okay, this is great, Not everybody drinks, so sometimes it's difficult to go out in an evening. If you don't drink, where are you going to go? Maybe you go for dessert. So that was it. We've got the idea. Great, we're going to set up this dessert business. But we didn't want to bake from home. We wanted a physical shop. So we applied to some shopping centres, pitched this fantastic idea, had absolutely no idea what we were doing. And we got the spot. So we now had to pull this kiosk together. We had an annual rent of, I think it was £70,000 back then, for a kiosk that's probably not bigger than the stage that I'm stood on right now, in this busy shopping centre in Leeds. And we were going to make absolute millions with these waffles. This was our big, big break. Can't believe it. And I made a decision then to actually leave my job in banking. Literally walked away from it. I gave my notice period. I did a whole dramatic scene at home where I took my handbag and said I quit, but I did do my notice period. And decided to go on this venture of, okay, let's do these desserts and, let's make big money and let's do our own thing. And I took the risk because for me, staying in didn't feel passionate about. And guess what? I can go back to it, When you're younger, you just don't have, dependents or bills or anything to really worry about, so you can take the risk. So yeah, we were there, brilliant. And there were a number of obstacles that me and my sister, who's there actually, in our very embarrassing uniform. We thought we were brilliant back then. So that's my sister next to me. That's Tina, one of our first ever employees. She actually only left recently to go on to bigger and better things. That's my mom, and that's Barney, that's my niece, that's my sister's daughter. So we all roped in, but me and my sister did face a number of obstacles when we set up this business. One, we didn't really have any previous experience. I'm assuming many of you have your own business here today or thinking of starting one. You might not have any experience whatsoever in your industry, but there's just this little niggle that makes you want to do it, and that's okay. I'd literally never ever worked even in a coffee shop, but I had it all up here, so yeah, I thought I knew what I was doing. Did I get a shock? Yes. Secondly, no money. So we invested all of our savings into this tiny little kiosk. I worked really, really hard all these years. I bought myself a property, I was proud of that. Spent the rest on this tiny little kiosk, used our savings, and we didn't earn a penny for, I would say, 12 to 18 months. I was genuinely scared to use my bank card in Aldi. And I was worried, okay, is this going to go through? I really, really hope it does, because I need to kind of get these few essentials. And we just got through it. So that was another obstacle. You keep going and going and going. Because back then, I wish I knew what I know now back then. But when you are starting a business or growing a business, I'm going to say as women, let's just admit it, we can become a little bit extra emotional. And our business is our baby. You know, you've sacrificed to open that. You've invested your time, your money, your passion. And sometimes that can come in the way of logic and making sound business decisions and financial decisions. So one of my cousins, I remember, asked me, do you get happy it was quite busy, there was a queue, and she said, oh, you must get so happy when that till rings and that cash is coming in. I thought, oh yeah. Oh yeah, duh, that's the whole point of business, right? Not to just stand here and make desserts and feel really good about myself that I've opened a business. So I guess one of the things I would say, definitely take away from today is, whatever you're doing, I know you're probably very passionate about your businesses, I would definitely recommend. It sounds so basic, but again, I'm stood here on a stage admitting it. At the start of my business, I did not look at my finances, even as much as I should have. I was too emotional, I was too invested, it has to work. Other people do it, surely I can. If everyone else can, I'm a smart cookie, I was a bank manager, of course I can do it. So I would definitely say one of my top tips is, please take a moment to sit down, look at your finances. I know you might feel really passionate about your business, but if you sit down, put pen to paper, it will enable you to make better business and financial decisions that are only going to benefit you. And the other objection was my dad. He fell into this big, great depression that I'd gone and quit my job as a banker and, you know, had the courage to go and set up this kiosk. It was a big fat no, but we did it anyway. And yeah, we motored on. We've lost money, we've made money, we've rebranded twice. We've gone through periods in our motivation where it's dipped and you just don't really know why you're doing it anymore. You go through busy periods in terms of seasonal, and we've been through COVID, the pandemic, we've been forced to think on our feet, we've closed a kiosk, but we've also done so many amazing things. And when I say we, that's me and my sister and my team. And then a couple of years ago, obviously COVID hit, I went through a bit of a personal situation where I thought, okay, this is my mini crisis, I'm gonna go traveling. Because I never did before. I studied, I worked, I didn't really give myself that opportunity to just fulfill myself in other ways. And then the pandemic hit, so I wasn't going anywhere. And then I saw an application for the Apprentice. I thought, brilliant, yes, this is it. This is my new little burst of energy that I've got. And again, I'm the bee's knees, right? Okay, I was a bank manager, I own my own business, I have 2 stores, you know, I'm so cool. And I went on the show and they film me saying some pretty absurd things. You know, I'm not a business bimbo, whatever it is. And honestly, went into that thinking, yes, I'm going to absolutely 100% win and nail this. Because I've just got this kind of mentality where, like I said before, I'm fearless. If I'm going to go do something, I'm going to do it, right? And I got there on the first day, and all we did was a photo shoot. And there was all 16 of us lined up. And I stood there in this little pink dress, and I honestly thought, what on earth have I got myself into? What have I done? I had no social media presence as a person. I went into that thinking, how could this possibly have any negative consequence whatsoever? And there's nothing to lose. When I got into that situation and threw myself into the deep end, I thought, wow, okay, I'm up against 15 other big personalities. Everyone wants to win. Everyone wants the investment. Everyone is actually credible and has an amazing business. And there's little old me selling ice cream from 2 shops. I need to come down a peg or 2, you know? So those first few weeks were really kind of, for me, difficult because I didn't feel that I belonged there. I wasn't sure that I could win. I'd entered this whole new world. You know, I had like 300 followers before and 2 pictures of my dog on Instagram, like literally nothing else. And I just realized that I've just exposed myself to around 6 million people. And if I make a fool of myself, you know, everyone's going to know it. So actually, this could put my business at risk. But as I got into it, I actually really started getting a kick out of it, because old Harpreet came back and I thought, you know what, I am fearless. And if I've got something to say, I'm going to say it. And I'm going to put the best version of myself forward. And it just started to naturally show. And as every single task went on, I just grew in confidence. And I thought, you know, I've actually got value to add here. I'm going to show my best traits. And I'm going to try and get the best out of my team around me. And that's exactly what I did. It got me through to the end, to the tasks. Has everyone seen The Apprentice? Most, yeah. I've grown up watching the show, actually. And I'm going to come on to mindset in a second, because I'm probably just conscious of time, 2 minutes. If you had asked me 10 years ago, would I have been on The Apprentice and could I have won it? The answer would have been absolutely hell yeah. Because I have that much belief in myself that I've worked on, that I genuinely believe that if there's anything that you put your mind to, you can achieve it. It's going to take hard graft. It's going to take sacrifice. But if you want it, you can have it. But it's your choice whether you're going to put that graft in. Anyway, cut a long story short, I couldn't wait to get to the interview stage, you know, when you're grilled by Claude, etc. I loved that. And everyone's really scared of that episode. But for me, I was so glad those tasks were out of the way, thank God. And I can now present my business to Lord Sugar and his business advisors, right? This amazing billionaire that we've all seen. And if they want me, they want me. And if they don't, like, there's nothing else I can give. I was that comfortable because I knew I had given myself 110% to the process, to the tasks, to the whole experience. I have nothing left to give. I didn't let nerves get in the way. I didn't let any anxiety get in the way. I didn't let sleeplessness get in the way. I was not going to let anything get in my way of winning that process and putting my best self forward. So if you didn't invest in me, that's okay. I'll just go work on myself. Maybe that opportunity wasn't for me. There's nothing else I can do, so I'm going to be comfortable with that. Luckily, he did invest in me, and I didn't have to go down that road or situation or pretend that I would be okay when I probably wouldn't have been. But I guess my top 3 mindset tips that I just want to leave you ladies here today with, for me, has genuinely transformed my life. I honestly can genuinely say to you, I refuse to call anything that I think of a dream. Everything I have is a goal. All of my dreams are goals, and I'll just go and achieve them. The way I do that, top 3 tips. 1 is 100% self-belief. And it takes work. I'm human. Yes, I've talked about business and my journey there, but I've had to deal with other personal situations alongside that, which can get you down. They can drain you. Life doesn't always go the way that you thought it was going to be. You get knocked back. But one thing I will never do is disrespect myself, because someone actually asked me a question recently. And they said, because me standing here today, there's so much more that I want to achieve with Also Yum. And I'm going to plug my business in a minute, because I won't be a true business person if I didn't. Studying on this stage today, I know I have so much work to do with my business. Yes, I've just won an investment. I've just opened a new store. I've just got Stockton Selfridges. I've just set up my delivery platform. But I've got so much more to do. And I'm constantly feeling this pressure and feeling overwhelmed. There's more to do. That to-do list is never going to go away. And recently someone asked me and said, they asked me, would 5-year-old Harpreet be proud of the person that you are today? And I actually genuinely got goosebumps. And I really want to ask you ladies the same question today, because I guarantee there's probably half of this room that is probably giving yourselves a really hard time, because you haven't done everything on your list, because there's so much more to do, because you're nervous, you're not that confident, someone else is smarter than you, someone else is more qualified than you. But I really want you to ask yourself, okay, cool, let's just put that to the side for a second. And I really want you to just stand up if 5-year-old you would be proud of the woman that you are today. It's okay if you don't stand up. I absolutely love that. Can you give yourself a round of applause? That's amazing. I mean, like, just give yourself a break. And I'm saying this to you because I know that I sometimes need the same. We achieve so much in our daily lives, in our business lives, in our personal lives, and we spin so many plates that just give yourself a second to think, do you know what? If 5-year-old me saw the Harpreet that I am here today now, oh my God, I'd be gobsmacked. I'd be like, brilliant, I'm done. I've made it, you know? But me here today knows I've got so much more to do. So just make sure you give yourself that credit. And if you're not feeling proud of yourself and you just didn't feel like you could genuinely stand up then don't take that in a negative way, okay? Think, do you know what, fine, okay. What is it that's making me feel this way? Let me do some self-recognition work and let me set some goals for myself, which is my second tip, and I'll very quickly say my last one. Goal setting is going to set your life on fire, trust me. If there's anything that you want to achieve personally or professionally, write it down, visualize it. I actually put the date that Lord Sugar was going to say to me, you're hired, and I calculated that when I actually did the application form. I didn't get it bang on, but I wrote week by week, I'm going to win task 1, I'm going to win task 2, go shopping and buy yourself some dresses. You know, I actually got to that level, I got obsessed with it. So if you're that serious about something and you want it, become obsessed, believe in yourself, and go get it. And my third tip, I'm going to have to check. What is it? Oh, yeah. Right. Balance does not exist, okay? There's so much pressure on social media. Gorgeous women in the gym, nutritious, healthy meals, business boss babes, and everything else under the sun. And have you seen those memes where there's Cruella de Vil going crazy in a car because she's like trying to juggle it all at once? I'm telling you, it's just not possible. It will be for a little while, but it's really hard to keep that consistent and sustain that balance because we all naturally are unique and have different desires, okay? You might want to be super mama and you want to invest more time in your children and making those meals, and that takes priority in your life. That might change over time. Me right now, I just want to focus on work, work, work. I know that will change. And my balance right now will look very, very different to what it will look like later on in my life. But rather than me trying to do everything, now in my day, I genuinely cannot physically go to the gym, cook myself a meal, and run this business to make millions of pounds right now. I just can't. And the sooner that you accept that and visualize, okay, do you know what? This is what I'm going to focus on, and that works for me. I'm not going to compare myself to anyone else. This is what good looks like for me right now at this moment in time. You'll feel this sense of calm, which is exactly what I feel because I know I'm doing my best. So just on a final note, again, my business is Also Yum. That's me with Mr. Alan Sugar. Everyone always asks, what's he like in real life? He's exactly the same as he is on television. Very direct, very abrupt. That's exactly what I'm like, I guess. So it's a good match. I'm really excited for my business. We do the most amazing desserts. We've got some brownies for you today. Let me know what you think. Tell me some pictures online. I am a small business, you know. I still run it with my sister. Even going on a TV show doesn't just catapult your business into making loads and loads of cash. It doesn't work like that. Business is still business, and we're all going through the same grind. But the more that we can network, learn off each other, become inspired by each other, and if you see another woman and you think, wow, she's got it together, use it as inspo rather than any feelings of envy, because guess what? She's been through her own journey too. So thank you so much.